So postmodernism says all truths and norms are contingent upon human constructions. That means all truths has been rejected. That is from outside of you. So all truths are now contingent upon human construction. You can construct it however you want it to be, and to reject any truth, even from society, from history, because of your stand based on what you can't construct in your mind. For example, they call it the self-construct. Calling, for example, for instance, marriage between a man and woman, or raising kids. For example, all these things, you could have just called it as a self-construct. Unless I constructed it, in whatever form I shaped it. But there's a big problem. Non-Christian worldview fails to account for ethics because they lack the doctrine of God and revelation. This is absolutely true. Because they lack the doctrine of God and revelation. Why so? They lack the idea of God as a personal God. This is huge. If you don't have a personal God, you only have a set of rules and regulations. That's where people are turned off. People don't want to approach a set of rules and regulations. Again, is almost like approaching artificial intelligence, AI. But people want to come to the God that gives us the ethics of right and wrong, but at the same time, who also feels compassion for us, who loves us, who gets angry when we do wrong. So this is making it much more dynamic. It's like a human kind of interaction, because we human got it from God. Guess what? Because we're created in the image of God. All right. So once people come to a personal God, people begin to feel, oh, it's not just I should not commit adultery because it hurts my dad, my father. He feels for it because he knows what's best for me. He created me. Guess what? He's the God the Father. So that's what we're talking about. And without the personal God, everybody's lost. That's why the incarnation of the Son of God into this world, to make God personal to us, is absolutely mind-blowing. It is the single most important thing in the world, that God came to this world and became a man and related with us on that level, so that we feel him, understand him. Wow, this incarnation of God is absolutely brilliant. It's a genius of God. There's absolutely no religion in the world that does that. Only Christianity, that God himself incarnate into the world. So we have a personal God. We feel him. He feels for us. He cries for us. Oh my goodness, it's so powerful. There's a God of personal absolute, and he revealed himself in a clear and sufficient authoritative way. The background noise is incredible in New York City. You need a metaphysical and epistemological ethics in divine revelation. Okay, you need the personal God. Islam, Buddhism, secular worldview, Darwinism all failed because of metaphysical, epistemological approach. You know what is metaphysical? Is the being. Okay, it's the metaphysics. It's the internal. It's a reality of who we are. That is metaphysical, and epistemological is the way is taught to us. How is it communicated and taught to us? Okay, so if you give people a set of rules and regulation without the God who is personal feeling for us, that is a bad metaphysics and a bad epistemological. So nobody's going to come to it. So if you hear this message, you're not a Christian yet, or you're a Christian but really not going to church, check this out. You need a personal God and come back. That's why Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and life. No one comes to me will be rejected. I feel for you. Jesus weeps and cries for us. Jesus rejoices. The God of Old Testament is full of emotion. Did you know that? Check it out. The book of Proverbs the sentiment of almost definitely sensual expression and emotion between a man and a woman in the book of Proverbs is astounding. That shows the parallel between how God feels about His church in a parallel way, so that we can understand God really feels for us. Okay? Eventually, the church is the bride, Jesus is the bridegroom, for example. You know, the whole concept of marriage comes from God. And God now appropriated it Himself to show us how much He loves us and wants to be with us. Basically, you accept Christ, you get adopted into the family of God. You become children of God in Christ Jesus.